how to pick your woman in 2025. I'm very cognizant that we all desire companionship, togetherness. It's a natural human desire for a man. We could talk about the traits that are negative in females, modern day females, but then we also have to identify that as a man who's trying to navigate the space of where you want somebody, how do you go about picking a woman this year? Okay, maybe even next year, but let's talk about the year we're currently in. So, one of the biggest qualities I look for if I want to deal with somebody of the opposite sex is she got God in her. She got God in her. What does that mean? It's easier said than done. It's harder to vet, but I'm not talking about a religious woman. I'm not talking about a church woman, but a woman that has a sense of the fear of the higher power. She, in her own private space, fears the higher power. The problem that we got with a lot of modern women is they are the center of the universe. They are the goddesses. They're the end all be all, the alpha and omega. So when they're getting a man, they want the man to cater to them. They love it when a man worships them, worships the ground that they walk on. That's what they want. They do not have a sense of desiring to be submissive. They do not regard the biblical hierarchy of man, Yah, man, woman, and children. They don't care for that. They may pretend to, but they're so corrupted in nature that they desire to be God themselves. That's why the term goddess is such a big thing. Divine femininity, to the point that the femininity is worshipped. That's why a man cannot say anything to a woman without her slapping him with the backhand and saying things and gaslighting him. You just a dusty. You just broke. Women cannot take advice from men because that represents the God power in a man. And a lot of men who are good men, they often are ruled by a higher power. I respect God. If I take a woman under my wing, I need to make sure I take care of her. Most men that I know operate from that premise of natural goodness. But unfortunately, a lot of women being hive minded, they've been led astray to believe that it starts with them. If this don't serve me, then I don't want it. It's only when they start to fall short in their beauty and they start to break down and they can see features that they never saw before, wrinkled skin, that's when they want to compromise and want to do a deal. It's almost like I offer you top money for your classic car, when it's fresh, and you deny me, and I'm like, I really want your car, man. I really want it. I like it. And you don't, and you go ahead and just do some donuts and you just freaking rev the shit out the engine, and the tire tread is gone. The gasket is blown and it's blowing smoke. You even dump it in the river, and then somehow you make it pretty a little bit, and I'm supposed to pay top dollar for the thing. So I think that unfortunately women are very desirous of being the center, being the God, which goes back to the whole Eve temptation situation. But if you want a woman that you really want in your life, you have to do some patient vetting process. She needs to have God in her, meaning she sincerely fears the idea of consequences. A lot of women got no shame. They dress however they want. That's why women got no problem talking any type of way to any man that they don't even know online. Women should not be arguing or starting fights online. But since a lot of them live single life and they feel like they're the dominant ones, they're starting argumentation. I don't respond to females on my videos. I don't. I don't entertain it. I don't give it the fire that I see a little smoke. I don't give it the fire that it needs to blow. I run a man's channel. I'm concerned about man's issues and our angle. Females can never come from the angle of a man's angle. Let them concern themselves with a women's angle. But they'll jump into men's spaces and talk all kinds of crazy. But you as a man, you still desire because she's still shapely. She still looks good. She smiles good. She even smells good. You can see the red flags. But we need to identify those ones we can do time with. Because it's not fun, the rinse and repeat thing. It's not fun for anybody. You got no time to 3 weeks in, 6 weeks, 3 months, change the next one. It gets tired. And that's why men opt to be single sometimes. A lot are. Or some of them who are able to, they just bounce and become passport bros. That has its pros and cons because I knew other cultures don't necessarily respect us. They may benefit from the dollars, but that has its pros and cons too. But the point I'm trying to make is you as a man, make sure she has a sense of some type of shame from the higher power. She fears that if I do this, God gonna judge me. I'm not talking about a religious chick that's always talking about meeting this, pastor this. They're hoes. Okay, not all, of course, we need to say that, but you know what I'm talking about. But somebody who fears that, just like dealing with a man who has a sense that there's morality control, and the morality control police is the Most High. So when a woman don't have that type of safeguards, or she don't have the sense of, if she's especially spiritual, the universe this, the universe that, she's not gonna respect you because she feels like she's divine feminine. And a lot of females are like that. So how to identify a woman? Make sure she got that fear in her. She has a sense of shame about her. She just won't wear leggings with a crop top, and everything is imprinted, indented. You can see everything. Make sure there's a sense of some shame about decorum. Now you can say you can meet a woman in a nice modest dress and she's the biggest hoe. It happens. But like I said, make sure the God factor is a real thing. I know y'all ladies been watching this. You like, I could do all that and still be at 3 or 4, right? So it's important that that's a component. This is not a foolproof thing. I'm not going to pretend that it is, but it's a starting point. If she don't have that fear factor or a father figure, she don't regard you. Disrespect is natural to her. But if disrespect is not a part of her, she feels the Most High. She feels that there's going to be some type of consequences. She knows that this life is fine. This life is finite. It's going to end at some point. So she needs to partner up with somebody she regards and respects. Then at least you're working with something. At least you're working with something,